How to double your money using the rule of 72. Albert Einstein believed that the rule of 72 was a more important discovery than his theory of relativity. It was first mentioned by Luca Pacioli, who is regarded as the father of accounting. He explains the importance of this rule in his 1494 book, Arithmetic Geometry, Proportions, and Proportionality. We all dream of being able to double our money in a few years. When was the last time you wished upon a falling star that you'd wake up tomorrow with 6 figures in your bank account? I'm here to tell you it's possible. No, it's not a fantasy. Today's practical wisdom video discusses the rule of 72. We're going to learn a lot, so stay tuned. Number 1. The rule of 72. In setting financial goals, analyzing economic trends, planning for financial goals, evaluating investments, and helping you with debt, the 72 rule comes into play. A fixed interest rate is used to determine how long it will take an investment to double. Here's how to calculate it. Divide 72 by your expected return. For example, if you plan on earning an interest of 5%, divide 72 by 5. That gives you 14.4. That's how long it will take you to double your money. This rule has a lot of benefits. You can see if you're staying on top of trends. For instance, you could also make sure you're making the right financial decisions. Additionally, it can be used to calculate inflation because it shows how long it will take for the starting value to fall in half instead of doubling. Having said that, using this rule also has its downsides. It's only applicable to assets that calculate compound interest annually. Also, this rule can't calculate rates below and above 6% and 10%, respectively. However, don't let these disadvantages stop you from following the rule of 72. Get in touch with a financial advisor who can explain this rule in more detail. Number 2. Compound interest. You can only use the rule of 72 with compound interest. Compound interest is the secret to financial growth when you know the rule and the power of it. Let's talk about compound interest now that we've discussed the rule. What's great about it is that the longer your money is invested, the more you'll earn. In other words, interest earned on your original investment is added to your original investment. Basically, put your money in it and forget about it. If you want to know how long it will take to double your savings, use the 72-hour rule. Take your interest rate, say 6%, and divide it by 72. 72 divided by 6 gives us 12. It'll take you this long to double your money. Compound interest is great if the interest rate is high. The higher the interest rate, the faster you'll double your money. Use the rule of 72 to see how fast your bank account can grow when you talk to a financial advisor. Number 3. Investments. You can also use the rule of 72 to evaluate your investments. We all want to make investments at some point, and this rule can help you figure out how long it will take your money to double. If you're thinking about investing, the rule of 72 can help you figure out how long it might take before you get a 100% return. If you use compound interest, the rule of 72 will work for any investment you make. Let's look at the following scenarios to understand this rule. Investment number 1, stocks with a 12% annual return. Investment number 2, mutual funds at an 8% annual rate of return. Investment number 3, government bonds at a 5% annual rate of return. Investment number 4, savings deposit at 1% annual rate of return. Try calculating how long it will take you to see returns on these investments using the rule of 72. Write your answers in the comments and tell me what pattern you can see. Also, if you're enjoying the video, do me a huge favor and give this video a like. Number 4, inflation rate. You may be hearing on the news that there's inflation right now, but what does this actually mean? An inflation rate is a rate at which prices tend to increase over a certain period. Things like household goods and services, for example, are affected by the inflation rate. Basically, it costs more to buy the same thing you bought last year. We can use the rule of 72 to figure out how long it will take us to beat inflation. By doing the math, we'll see that if inflation averages 3% every year, the price will double in 24 years. If inflation stays at the current 6.8%, 72 divided by 6.8 gives us 10.6. That's a huge price rise in just 10 years. With the rule, you can stay ahead of inflation so you don't get beaten down. Number 5. Savings. This rule is awesome for saving because it lets you predict when your savings will double. What's the first place you think of when it comes to saving? Is it keeping your money at home? There's too much risk and it's easy to lose. Is it in the stock market? It has a higher chance of growing your money, but it also has a higher chance of losing it. It might be opening a savings account. If you're lucky, you'll get 1% interest on your savings. Let's be honest, this is usually the lowest hanging fruit. Setting a goal and setting a budget for saving is good. It's important to know how long it'll take to double your money. Now, let's look at some examples. Rule 72 divided by the rate of return equals time for the investment to double. For example, let's say you have $1,000 that you want to save in the bank. You earn a 1% interest rate every year, so 72 divided by 1% equals 72 years. If you put in $1,000 today, you can expect to have $2,000 in 72 years. But you won't be around in 72 years to get a $1,000 profit. Many investment programs guarantee 4% to 7% interest per year at least. It's better to do some research, sit down with a financial advisor, and they'll show you better ways. Let's use the same example as before. You still have the $1,000, but you now put it towards a savings program such as an index with an interest rate guarantee of 5% per year. So 72 divided by 5 equals 14.5 years. Now, instead of 72 years, you'll only have to wait 15 years to double your money. It's safe too. 5% is just an example. Realistic rates can be higher. You can use the rule of 72 to identify a bunch of things. For example, you can see how long it will take your savings to grow or how much you'll need to make to stay ahead of inflation. One thing we learn every time we use this rule is to be patient. You don't have to wait for too long to start your journey to financial freedom. I hope you learned something from this video. Tell me how you plan to use this rule in the comments. And with that being said, have a great day and see you all in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe for interesting content like this.